Well, we've had 5+ days of straight rain, so I'm back inside, and during those rainy days I was doing other work that you can't see here. I was fixing, I'll show you light in my hallway. I did actually, right before it started to rain, was outside working on cutting down some big giant bushes. Show you that sometime soon when I can get back outside, but right now we're headed back into the family room because I want to close this off, put insulation. If you don't know what's going on with this, I explained in a previous video, linked to in this post. It's a funny, bless Seth for helping me out with this. Let's have a look here. And I've currently got my furnace back on because it's 33, feels like 28 outside again. Yeah, we keep going from 80 to snow. So again, I have all the posts related to how I covered up the wiring in here, added lighting, that there was only 2 sconces on the back wall behind me, and I'm going to be working on this where the commode and the sink come in, and covering that back up, and I'm going to be stuffing some more insulation in there, patching the drywall here because there's pieces behind the mirror, and making it one piece, and just kind of getting ready, mudding and whatever to paint. Excited to do this in a sense, but I'm not in another way. And if you also remember, I had opened up the stairwell, so we'll be getting eventually to that. But again, it's going to be, we're in Ohio, it's going to be go outside when it's nice and be inside when it's crummy, because I'll have plenty of winter months to work on all of this stuff soon enough. Just going on record that nothing is ever simple. All I wanted to do, I'm in my stairwell and had this boob light here, but let me back up and I'll explain. In here, and if you remember, I opened up my stairwell on both sides, and there was originally a light switch here. And I thought, I think I want to run the switch over to here in the dining area, because this switch, I finally found out, went to my front door lights on the outside, which is also connected to this switch. I was like, what? Because this used to be a porch, okay? So I get it. It makes sense in a way, but I don't need this switch to turn on the lights at the front door anymore. And I thought, well, I don't have a spot for it. I could embed the switch over there to the light here. But I just thought I'll just run it on down and use this switch here, which is left-hand access, but whatever. It's going to make do. But the wire that I ran over to do that is short. So I was going to run a new one. But in order to do that, you got to love hot mess. There's this stub of something here, got power. This is the light wire, switch wire coming in, and this is going elsewhere, and it's just, what did they do? Oh, I'll get it figured out.
100 years later.
Ta-da! I will not be keeping that fixture. You know, I don't like boob lights, but got the single pole switch done, and I don't know if you can see and how dark it is. We've had rain for like 4 days straight. It's so annoying. This is the wire going to the front sconces on the front of the house. So I eventually will be taking that out because it was a 3-way. You know, I have 2 switches instead of a single pole. Up there was the power for it, so that's just capped off up there, boxed, and then I'll be able to adjust. I think when I redo the rest of the entry, I've already done this half and behind me, but I'll be moving the door to having a different in-swing so that it opens this way instead of that way, and moving the switch to this light fixture to there so that I can have the sconces and the lights all on the same side. Makes sense, right? For that split second there, we had sun outside, but now I'm back to turning on the lights, and it is just past 8 o'clock in the morning. That's how dark it is. I'm telling you, cabin fever, that sad, the seasonal depression disorder is real. I took carpet padding that I used from my daughter's hidey hole that I created in the attic for her little personal space. You can see how I redid that. This has a spill guard lining up against the plumbing. We'll see how that works. I've got some roll insulation that's also been left over up in the attic. I'm going to pull down and fix over in the wall there. I might put more in around here. I'm going to wait and see when somebody flushes the toilet, how loud it is and if it did any good. But when I cover it up, then hopefully we'll have some muffled waterfalls. I'm also going to be sticking that insulation up in the holes there. Quieter, but not quiet enough. Yeah. Happy to say that I'm filling the holes back there and I'm shoving it in just to see, because I can't quite tell. I wish I had a scope or something to see how far it's settled, but I'm actually seeing it coming up, so good news. Okay, so I have like 20 some of these holes I need to fill. And you think, what do you do with that, right? Well, maybe some of you know this trick, but I went around to my kitchen to find something that would be about the same size, okay? So it'll slide in there. And let me show you what I'm going to do with some scrap that I keep, because you never know when you need to patch a drywall, right? Somebody punches, something runs into it. This is the first house I've lived in a very long time that had drywall. My other walls were always wood. So let me show you what you can do with this. You just want to make sure you leave this paper intact, okay? You're going to peel that back. I'm going to actually do this over the trash can for a minute, but show you just a couple spots I need to crisp up right there. See, I made another one. Then when you go to mud your wall, you're going to put some mud around, and this is going to pop in. And then you use some mud, go around there, tape if you want as well, and then we should have a decent finish. I've said before, I really don't like sheetrock, drywall, whatever you want to call it, but I'm doing what I can with my budget. And so I'm doing these, and it's probably not going to be the most perfect. I still need to tape and mud the seams and stuff, but this is going along fairly easy, just popping these circles in. But, you know, don't take lessons from me because I have very little practice. Now for my least favorite part I've talked about is the mudding, taping, and then sanding. That's the worst, but I'm gonna do what I can today because if you recall from my last post, I have an injured thumb and it doesn't look like much, but it gets pretty painful. When I was mudding those holes and finishing them off, it kept getting inside the band-aid, hurting, and I can't still bend my thumb yet because that injury is right on the crease. But I've got some make-do things, cardboard covered in contact paper so I can get the air bubbles out with my spatula. I'm going to try some wearing some rubber gloves so that maybe I can go a little farther without it causing too much issue. And I'm going to go until I run out of tape. This tape is the mesh kind of tape that you would use on your seams. I can't find the end. Okay. And this kind of tape is the tape for your corners that it is not fun to use. I'll be honest. And make it fold for you. It's got a given seam there in the middle so that you fold it and then you press it into your corners and then cover up. But it's painstaking, but like anything, it takes time, but it'll be worth it in the end, right? I'm just making do with the tools I have because I really should have different things. I know that. But once I'm done with this, I really don't want to ever do drywall again. At least not in this magnitude. So I just realized I was having a moment there. I was getting frustrated because I can't bend my thumb. I will say I paused a hot mess, yeah, because the gloves are helping. I can actually do a little bit better because I have the gloves on and I'm not getting my thumb messed up and soaked. And allowing myself that space that I mentioned in my last blog post where sometimes I've just been dealing with a lot and I'm allowing myself to just do when I can. I know I gotta work, so that's a given, but I did the corner, which I hate doing. I don't have a corner trowel, which maybe I could get that because I literally only have 3 more to go, so I might just wing it. But, you know, there's that haste makes waste, ounce prevention worth a pound of cure. So I know if I was doing this better to onset, I wouldn't have as much to fix later. And I get that. And I wish I could study alongside a pro and just learn some tips and tricks to doing this. But I do plan to get better at it by the time I'm done, which was the same when I built my son's bedroom on the other side of this wall. So long way to go, no doubt. But I'm encouraging you that if you haven't tried something new that you've been wanting to try, have at it. What's stopping you? I know I could say that with a breeze, but that's just my mentality the way I've always been because I had to be very self-reliant for a lot of reasons. All right, I'm going to finish up as much as I can. I actually might run out of topping dirt compound before I run out of tape. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to pump up the jams, have at this, and just let my brain go. It feels great. I'm going to throw this out there and hold on one second, just dawned on me. I have this gas wall furnace. If you remember my first in-home tour, I had said I was going to get rid of them. And actually, they work really great. They're not the best looking thing, but again, my whole goal is to get out of debt for my life, and that means including a mortgage that I had to take on to come here. And so there's some specifications. You can't have anything flammable within 3 feet above or 6 inches below and so on. So what would you do with this space? I know that I have something in mind, but again, I don't always know until I get into it, right? And this is the only window in the entire room. I originally told you I'd like to add a door to the back so I have a patio, and I'd also like to add another window right here. So considering that, what would you do to, I don't know, I've thought about a faux fireplace look, I've thought about brick, I can build around it, but I have to stay within certain specs, and you got to consider the open ceiling, which I will be transitioning from here to here, covering that up and then getting to painting the ceiling. But curious, what are your thoughts on that? feel like this artwork needed some professional posing or something. Isn't that glorious? I'm calling it quits now. I have this wall next to me and behind me to do because I'm running low. I need to clean up because I have mom duties to do, but also before my kids get home, I want to clean the floor and make this not crazy. All right, until next time, guys, living real with Larissa.